Okay, hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to do a video talking about Satan's little season or the short season, which is mentioned in the Bible. Uh, look at who we got here. We got, ladies and gentlemen, joining us from Israel, Mr. Sam Abakiah, better known.
What's going on, Matt? What's up? What's up?
How you doing, Sam?
Good, good. Thank you. Good, thank God.
Good.
Everything okay. I'm a little busy, but that's good. I'm staying on top of things.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I wanted to let you know I saw the video, man. The video is great. The Weiss video,
Oh yeah, the Wise File.
awesome. That's awesome. And you know what? Flat Earthers are gonna like it. The Globers are gonna like it. It's awesome.
Yeah, yes, I know. We're already in contact with the boss of them, but we had to do it. I had to do it. It was a little heavy to make, but we had to do it because that guy, that David Weiss, is playing hard. So we have to play hard with him, and we have to just close that file on him because it's and when you analyze everything he says he does and how he does it and his logic, like how he debunks everything, it's all bullshit. It's look, it doesn't make sense. It's like,
Yeah, it's like he's
so
talking out of both sides of his mouth.
exactly, yeah.
He's saying they were definitely in Antarctica.
But
Maybe
maybe
they
there was some.
weren't, but they were definitely there. But maybe they weren't.
This is tactics. This is those are tactics. Just to be able to say, I said that. I never said that. I said that. You
Yeah,
understand?
you got him with his own
Yeah,
words. Yeah,
of
it's all,
course.
and it's nothing is fabricated. It's only him
No,
talking.
exactly. I'm just underlining what is done. That's all. That's what I'm saying. And with the same logic that he has to demonstrate flat Earth. But again, the big thing there is that we have to understand what's the point. How come such a flat earther was such a guy that makes like 5 6 interviews a day to promote flat Earth can be on the other hand, like the enemy of the flat earthers, the
Yeah,
flat
it's
Earth
it's
community.
it's like a subtle nuance. It's
Exactly.
like at
This,
first people say, "Oh, look at Flat Earth Dave. We could trust
yeah.
this guy." And then once you
Mhm.
examine it,
Yeah.
he's like a devil. He's like a Satan.
I have to tell you something about the Bible, maybe something that you guys didn't see. But when the people of Israel, actually it's the Arab Rab, the other guys that were around the people of Israel that pushed the Israelis, the people of Israel to do that, golden calf there. And we know that it wasn't Israel that did it, that originate that sin, because the guys that did that, they say, hey, look, Israel, these are your gods. So we know out of these that the people speaking are not from Israel because they're talking to Israel. But it's okay. Let's say the people of Israel did the golden calf. And what happens is that the way it's written, you can understand that they tried actually to turn Moses against God. Because Moses and God were like just one. God talks to Moses, Moses does what God says. So
Yeah.
how did they do that? They said, oh, look, that guy Moses, that man Moses, that took us out of Egypt, didn't come back. What do you mean Moses took us out of Egypt? God took us out of Egypt through Moses. And then you can see that God tells Moses, oh, you people, that you took out from Egypt, they rebelled against me and they made a golden calf. And he said, no, 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 this is not my people, this is yours, and you took them out of Egypt. So you understand? So this is what you have to understand. They're trying to turn flat earth against the flat earth community. That
Yeah.
means on one side praising flat earth, but on the other, undermining the community.
Yeah, exactly. And you have it all there in the video.
You
Dave
understand?
Weiss just insulting everybody.
Yeah, that's
Everybody insulting you,
yeah.
insulting me,
So
insulting Eddie,
I tell you
everyone.
what, I tell you what, I in the community, I may be one of the guys that have the most reason maybe to call lots of flat earthers stupid, because besides the flat earth principles and mechanisms. I'm also Jewish and Israeli, so there are a lot of people that don't like Israel and everything. They're going to say like all kinds of aberration in my eyes, like we eating babies, we kill babies, we drink their blood, but I tell you something.
But that's happening all over the earth. That's not
Yeah,
just a,
no, yeah,
Jewish
that's
thing or whatever.
that,
That's,
he's never been a Jewish thing. But anyways,
well,
the
you know
thing
what I
is,
mean. Like
the
it's
the
not
thing is,
about or the religion. It's the Satan
no,
at work in the people will make them do those things. It doesn't matter what their background
oh,
is.
they do even worse to the children. You know, those are cults. So this is why we had to, exterminate all these people. When we came in Israel, we had to exterminate all these, the Canaanites and all
And that's
this.
difficult for people to kind of understand how
Well,
that order was given and why. And
well,
they say, how could God do this? But they
how?
don't want to look at what the scripture says
Eh,
about what the people were doing.
if you knew what they were doing, you will exterminate them without God having to tell you. You would have just erased them totally. Everything, everything that they touch, everything they have, burn it to the ground, to ashes, because it
Yes,
is so
exactly.
evil, it's such abominations they were doing to their own children. They were like, doing incest and killing and raping and in the name of religion, and just it's crazy. They were like, totally
And
degenerated.
that's why God ordered the people to
of,
be killed.
of course, he's not without reason, because those people are also his creation. He created them in the beginning, so but they got so degenerated, they got so evil, that God had no choice than to exterminate them. This is the thing that we have to understand.
Yeah, that's
So
a difficult one, but
yeah, yeah,
I understand it. It is
of course.
difficult. Like people think, how could God kill anybody, or what right does God have? And it's like, of course, God has ultimate right to do anything.
Not only the right, but he has the good reasons to do that. He wouldn't do that because he's angry at somebody. It's not for free. It's just like he has very good reasons, and God is very
Okay,
patient. He's very patient. His patience lasts very long. So
that's
if it
true.
if it came to that point where he had to use a people to exterminate another, so there is a good reason. There's a damn good reason for it, and
Okay,
there's nothing we can say about
Sam.
it. Yes.
Today, I did want to talk about this subject of the Satan's little season or the short season, and
So
I have a bit of some information prepared, and maybe you could tell me what you think. That be
go ahead.
okay?
Go ahead. I heard about it a little bit. I went to
Yeah,
follow
and I
its
know
thing.
Banjo was talking about it, and other
Yes, yes,
people talk
also, yeah.
about it, and
I
I think that it's
personally,
like a lot has to be kind of put together with
okay.
scripture. So I know you're not really into the New Testament, but
No, no, but I'm
it
open
has
minded. No problem.
information. So let me bring it up so the audience can see, and then I'll read it, okay? And then if you want to say something, you could add your comment, okay?
Go ahead.
So let me start. Okay. It says, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, today I want to present to you a theory about time, prophecy, and deception. It centers on the 1,000 years described in Revelation, the time when Satan is bound, and the possibility that history itself has been tampered with, obscuring our true place in God's timeline. Now, Jesus' victory and Satan's binding. When Jesus was crucified and rose again, it wasn't only the defeat of death, it was also the moment when the enemy of our souls was cast down. John 12:31 says, "Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out." Colossians 2:15 says, "And having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it." Revelation 20 gives us the fuller picture. An angel descends with a great chain. Satan, the dragon, the serpent of old, is bound. He is locked away for 1,000 years so that he cannot deceive the nations during that time. So, from the moment Christ's triumph, Satan was restrained. Now, the 1,000-year reign of Christ. Revelation 20:4-6 tells us that during this time, Christ reigns with his saints for 1,000 years. Those who remained faithful, those who suffered for his name, were given thrones and judgment. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. This reign is real, and it began with his resurrection. Now it's to the next part. The loosing of Satan, the short season. But Scripture also warns us that after this 1,000 years, Satan would be released for a little season. Revelation chapter 20, verse 7 to 8 says, "And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sands of the sea." This period is not 1,000 years, but a short season, a limited time of deception and chaos before the final judgment. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The mystery of time was 1,000 years added. Here's where the deception grows deeper. If Christ was crucified around 33 AD, and Satan was bound then for 1,000 years, the loosing would naturally fall around 1033 AD. But here is the striking thought. What if history as we know it has been altered? What if a phantom millennium, an extra 1,000 years, was inserted into our calendars? That would mean our current year of 2025 is not truly 2025, but rather 1025 in real time. That would place the possible release of Satan either just beginning or more likely coming soon in what we call the year 2033, which in truth would correspond to 1033 AD. Now, why would they change the timeline? If Satan is the deceiver, what better way to confuse humanity than by tampering with our perception of time itself? By making us think the millennium of Christ's reign is long past, he blinds us to the reality of prophecy being fulfilled in our own day. Now, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9 to 10 warns us, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of truth, that they might be saved." Okay, now we have the conclusion. Brothers and sisters, the Scripture warns us to be watchful. Revelation 12:12 says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Whether that short season has already begun, or whether it will begin in what we call 2033, the warning remains the same. The enemy knows his time is limited. This should awaken us to vigilance, prayer, and faith in Christ, for he remains the victor and the one who will bring final judgment upon the enemy. Let us not be deceived by false calendars or manipulated histories. Let us stand firm in the truth of God's word, knowing that he reigns and that the end is near. Pretty good, huh?
Well, I'm telling you, from a Jewish point of view, I have a couple of big questions here.
Yes, sir. And say what's up to Mikey Smith.
What's up, Mikey? The question that I have is this: is that apparently, when you look at the world, the way it evolved, doesn't matter from what period of time, if it's from the birth of Christ, or before that or after that. But it seems to me that Satan is very active, in the world. I don't see him being locked up, because if he's locked up, that means that man cannot be, you know, like tempted or tried, and then you're talking about like a paradise.
Well, what this
You know,
refers to as Satan
Satan-free
being
world doesn't exist, and so I
no,
don't know.
Sam, this refers to Satan being an actual being, not a metaphor, not
Oh,
a fairy tale, that the Satan is an actual being.
yeah, but well, this is this is not in Judaism that Satan, you know, can come to you as a man, as a woman, as real, like, you know, it's
Well, in
not
the
like
Bible, Satan went to Adam and Eve as a snake.
It's possible. I don't know. I don't know about this, but I know that one thing is that Satan, in Judaism again, is an angel of God whose task is to tempt people and to try them and to make sure that they won't succeed in order to just like improve them. That means that at a certain point, if you succeed, if you don't fall into the Satan's trap, so then you're gonna go up one level. So that's his task. We
That's
see
kind
that
of true, but it's
in the
like you
book of
want to.
Job.
It's like from what you're saying, you want to make Satan out to be like a good guy.
No,
Like,
it's not. It's a
and
program.
Satan's not a good guy. Satan is a liar and a murderer from the beginning. From the
well,
beginning.
So we're not talking about the same thing, because what you call Satan, I call, you know, for example, the elites or the Vatican or all the evil people ruling the earth, and then you're right.
Well,
It
they're
matches
satanic.
everything.
They're, like,
Exactly.
the Pope is not Satan.
No, that's why.
Hey, Netanyahu, he's not Satan.
No. But the thing is that if you look at the book of Job, Satan comes to God, and God tells him, "Oh, look at my servant, you know, Job." You know, and
Yes.
Satan says, "Oh, but you know, if I try him, he's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna last long." So God says, "Okay, go." So we see here that the Satan is in the order, you know, works for God. It's not like an independent something evil that's gonna murder. It's like a robot. You know, among us, we know that an
I don't
angel.
know, Sam. I disagree. I think Satan is a unique being.
So that's what you call Satan. We call it something else. That means,
what do you guys call Satan?
We
the great serpent, the dragon of old, right? What do you call that being?
we don't call him like this. The Satan in Hebrew is an angel of God with a special task. Like Gabriel is an angel of God with the task of protecting Israel. Raphael is another angel with another task.
But
they don't have
that's
any.
where it deviates, because from my understanding, Satan was not obedient. Satan is the fallen angel.
Why do you see that in the Bible? It's never written.
You gotta look in the Bible. Satan took angels down with him. He was not obedient.
It's not written. Those are like, you know, conclusions, you know, that
we
people
could find it. Hey, we could find it. You could find what the Torah says, and it'll back me up.
So the thing is that we have to fight the Satan. We have to fight his, you know, because he tests us, you know. So we have to pass those
tests. That's what this information is talking about. That when Jesus was crucified and died and ascended to heaven, that's the defeat of Satan. That's when he's bound, but not killed.
Well,
you know what I mean? Not in the lake of fire yet.
Well, I think that might have been inspired from the fight with Jacob, with that man with him. And in Judaism, we say that man is also the Satan. He's also the guardian angel of Esau, but it's also, this is what, you know, I'll tell you what.
Man is not Satan. Men can be satanic, just like man cannot be God.
Yeah, but
there is a man who is God-like, Jesus.
Yeah, but this was not a real man. This was, you know, like a fight with a very special man, and that means Jacob, you know, won the fight. And then what happened is that Satan there, that person that we consider that, you know, Satan that came under that form there of a human being fighting with Jacob, then blessed Jacob. He said, "Okay, you won. I bless you."
What the one that wrestled with Jacob? That was not Satan, though.
In Judaism,
that's more like the angel of the Lord, right? And they wanted to say he was wrestling with God, but really it was like the representative. The messenger.
There are ways to understand things in Torah, but there is like, you know, things that you have to do in order to make sure that you don't go, you know, don't jump into false conclusions.
Yes, that's why we have to compare. We have to compare with what Jesus said, right? And then we get the full picture. But really quick, we look at Mikey Smith says, fallen angels are the planets, are they not? Interesting point, because it also says that they left their natural habitation. So what we look at as the wandering stars used to be part of the celestial disk, the fixed stars that rotate. And then so it's a very interesting thing to bring up about what we used to call planets, the wandering stars, that they are named after gods, and that they have their own patterns, which often retrograde. They fall behind the normal stars. So that's
The thing,
interesting, Mikey Smith. I would say we are seeing the heavens, like in the sky. That's the heavens. So there is something to that.
the thing is that all these planets and luminaries were created by God, but God never told us that they were gods. Those are pagans that say, oh, these are gods, these are this. So they're not gods really. They're just like, they use those things that, those instruments of the creation, and they said, okay, that's a god, you have to bow to that. So,
Just
but they're
like the
not gods really.
NASA missions. It's all Apollo, Gemini,
Exactly.
Mercury, Saturn
Exactly.
V rocket.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Hey,
those
but
are
Sam,
Romans. Those are the
Sam,
Romans.
I wanted to ask, but do you kind of understand my point of view about this Satan's little season?
Yeah.
Like, okay, like
are you-
Satan, after Jesus goes to heaven, Satan's bound, right? 1,000 years. So it's like we have Jesus ruling for 1,000 years and Satan bound for 1,000 years.
So what are you
right?
saying, that Satan was not active for like 1,000 years?
Well, he's not dead. That's when they have human beings possessed by demons.
Okay, no
you
problem.
know.
But he's not active on Earth. You're
Yeah,
saying.
it's not the same as it was like when he was tormenting
So
Job.
how do
You
you explain
know,
all the evil that there is, like for
through
like
the demons,
thousands of years?
it's the people doing it. Like
Exactly.
people have free will, and they use their free will being manipulated by demons.
So the demons are active. So Satan
Yes.
also is active. So that's what I
Well,
don't
no,
understand.
but Satan is trapped though. There's a limitation. That's what this is
Of
saying.
course,
And
of
that
course.
after this 1,000 years, that's when Satan's going to be free
Okay.
to do, the Gog of Magog war. And another thing, listen to this. I also think it's possible that's when they're going to do the fake alien invasion. That's what they could be
100%.
waiting for. But
That's what.
the point though is about the 1,000 years. Have you heard about that theory that 1,000 years was added to our history?
No, that
Well, like,
it's
let me
very
show
hard to
you.
believe, but because we also keep track of the times and events in history, so
But let me show you. Watch, because some people
too
are
it's too much, a little too
like,
much.
watch.
But
There's
anyways,
other people that are into it. Let me show you here.
yeah,
Just
but
a
then you have to be
second.
careful that this is not Satan's work, also to confuse you
Like,
with
look at, like, see this. A lot of
nonsense.
people are into this. Like
Yeah, but
noticing how coins, like how the coins, they don't have a 1. They have like a J or like a capital I. Let me click that. It's a little too big here. But you know what I mean about that? How they add 1,000 years. And the point of this would be to make people think that the prophecy was never fulfilled, that Christ is not real, the
yeah,
Bible's not real.
but it's
And
not
that's the
easy.
point.
It's not easy to add up 1,000 years without anybody noticing. It's not that easy, even for the Vatican Church.
How would we
You know,
know?
well, because
How would we
it makes
know?
because it falls
Right?
into it's
Chinese
common
age is
sense.
like at 5,000 years. Yeah, but they have a different calendar.
Well, for
The
example,
Jews have a different calendar.
but we know.
Ethiopia has a different. Russia has a different calendar.
So who's
America has a
right?
different.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, but that
Okay,
doesn't mean that
years were
everybody's
made.
right.
We don't know. Yes, Mikey Smith. The years were manipulated. But my point is that it's lining up a certain way. That by looking at what Jesus said, it's actually matching what we're seeing. How
So
there's archaeological evidence that they put years and they just decided to put the first symbol and make it a 1 instead of an I or J, which is the name like Jehovah or Jehovah. But that's how they did it to people. So not only are they lying about the earth, they're lying about evolution everything. They're even lying about the
That's for
time.
sure. That's why I
That's
wanted
my
to tell
point.
you. I agree with you on what you say, because it makes sense that there is a period of time where there's going to be like no rules. I wouldn't call it like the Satan little season, but I will call it like God's absence season. God is going to just just go away for a little while and let everything break break free. So the thing is that you just dress it up differently. You call it Satan, which for us Satan is something else.
Yeah.
I call it more like evil people, like real people, not angels, fallen angels. But it's about the same. We don't care. It's the same thing. Just to tell us that there is a period of time, and I believe it's true, because in the book of Daniel, it's also like mentioned, like in between the lines. There's going to be a
Yes,
time
that someone will change the times. They will
no,
change the
well,
time. I read that.
The Catholic Church already changed the times, because the year 2000 for us doesn't exist. But the thing is that also they changed the Sunday, as the first day of the
Yes,
week,
that's
and
my
so
point. And then
they
listen, there's a reason they did that,
yeah, but we
right?
Jews are like witnesses of times. We know exactly the times and everything, so we kept track. So they cannot fool us. They can fool
Well,
anybody
what's
else,
the year
but
for
they
the
cannot fool us.
Jewish people? Like 6,500.
5,700 and something, and 80, something like this.
And so where's the list of every year?
We have
And
it.
even
We
that
have
could be a lie too.
no,
It's so easy to lie about that. Like, and
no.
just, oh, this, and then it's like, who do you trust?
Yeah, but
Oh,
in
I
that case,
trust what, Sam? I trust this rabbi. I don't trust this rabbi.
yeah, but in that case, if you push it, you can even lie about you. How do you know your name is Matthew Hakim? How do you know your mother is your mother? Then
Because I
you can
met
go
her.
far.
I
Well,
met
you
her.
don't know. It's so easy to lie to you.
Yeah, that's
Maybe it's
true.
like
And then look at what
so.
Mikey Smith says. Letter J just came into existence 500 years ago. So what's Jesus' real name?
Well, G doesn't
Sam, what do you
exist in
think?
Greek.
Is it Yeshua?
In Hebrew, when we talk about it, when we have to mention him, it's called Yeshu.
What do you mean when you have to?
Because we don't really believe in it, so we don't. It's not a subject of discussion really. But when people want to discuss about it, like Christians and everything,
Yeah.
so we call him. Usually we don't even pronounce his name. We say Imach Shemo in Hebrew. But
What's that in Makshim?
Imach Shemo, it is what we say to anything that is for us like false god or false beliefs.
Oh,
That
because you
means
guys really don't like Jesus.
no, it's not a question of liking. It's a question of like you say, you don't like the Santa Claus. It's not. We don't hate Santa Claus. We
Oh,
just
yeah,
don't.
yeah. Well, Santa Claus, well, there's actually proof that there was a person that
Yeah,
was
I
Santa
know,
Claus based on.
I know.
But there's way more proof that Jesus existed.
This is
Way more
this is a big
Jesus is the
debate.
most historically accurate person.
Yeah, but
It's more. There's more proof for Jesus than there is George Washington.
so no, there is more popularity than there is for George Washington.
No,
But
I mean evidence, because George Washington, that's another made-up character. That's like a fairy tale, like a Robin Hood.
That's possible. I didn't get to that, but I know one thing is that you only know about Jesus because the Roman Catholic Empire just gave you those books, and there's no other witnesses.
That could be an honest thing. We have to be honest about that. That we get Jesus from the enemies of the Jews, right? The enemies of the Jews are the Greeks, Romans, and that's where we get
the big time is
and I know you guys had bad history with them, and I understand that. I get that. So that could be why you're skeptical.
We have to be. Forget about being Jewish. If I'm a flat earther, I'm about I have to do my homework. Like just I do it with flat Earth.
Yeah.
I believe that they went to the moon, and then I checked, I double checked, I triple checked, and then I have no other choice than to understand that they never went to the moon, but because I checked. Now the thing that how can you check about Jesus? Because the thing is that it happened like 2,000 years ago, and the only
maybe
source of
1,000, right? Maybe 1,000.
Maybe 1,000. But the only thing that what I say, because there are Jews or Ashkenazi Jews mostly that will say it did exist and everything. But I personally I'm going to talk for myself, not for the Jews in general. But the big problem that I have, which is a clear problem, is that at the time he was supposed to live, like the year zero, whatever, he did those miracles according to the books that you have. But the thing is that there is no one witness in the world, nothing written, not even a sentence from any civilization about him. That
You
means
mean
that
about
I know.
Jesus?
Yes, there's nothing written about him.
Are you
Only the
kidding me,
Catholic Church.
dude? You
No,
gotta be
nothing.
kidding me, Sam. Come on. There were witnesses at the time when he saw him alive. They wrote the books. There were people that met people that saw him.
Who?
I mean, no one. I mean, it's not like we could just grab someone now and be like, "Tell us what you saw."
No,
It is
who?
partly about faith. It is
But
also like,
but
listen, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son,
yeah, but
so that
this is
if anyone should believe in him, they would have a chance at everlasting life.
yeah, but you're already into the story. I'm talking about before the story. I'm talking about before those books that you read that talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Before these books, who found these books? Where were they found? Like
So
they say
by that same argument, you could throw out the Torah
no,
with your
of course
same
not.
Sam, with your same logic.
No, because the Torah is.
And I don't mean to be confrontational about that,
No,
but your
no,
very same logic,
no.
you could throw out
It's
the
not.
Torah
le-
because
so
there's
let,
more
let-
evidence for Jesus
so-
than the whole Torah.
so
But Jesus brings the Torah.
Matthew, let me explain. Give me a chance to explain you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Check it out. How do we know it's not comparable, the Torah and Christianity? Why?
Because Jesus, it's like
Oh,
this.
let me
When
tell you,
Jesus came, he said, the Torah is true. Everything's true. But look at this. When Muhammad comes, he said, "Oh, they're right, but they're wrong. Let me tell you the truth." And that's not how Jesus was. Jesus said, "The Torah is real, not fake. It's legit."
Okay,
You get what I mean? And then we get further. We get to like the Mormons, right?
But for example, how do we know, again, to come back to that point, that first of all, it's historic. You cannot find, you can believe there were like lots of witnesses. This is to believe in imagination, but there is
But that's
not.
why it's called faith.
Okay, so that's
So you
what.
need
So
to
you
have
cannot
faith,
understand. So that's
right?
so that's it. So that if you cannot meet faith with understanding. So if it's a question of faith, there's no discussion possible because it's like what you believe. That's just a belief. But the thing is that
That's why you have to look at available information. You have to
yes,
look
that's
at
what I did. That's what I
right.
did. And there is
So
no. There's a big problem for me is this, because in the Middle East, if a guy was doing so many, had done so many miracles, like walking on waters, transforming the wine in, the water in wine or whatever, it would have went viral. It would have been writings in all the languages at the time.
well, not a lot of people could write at that time. They told
Everybody was
stories.
right. No, that's a
Even
huge
the
difference.
Torah itself, it
No,
was
no,
passed down. There
no,
wasn't
no,
everybody writing.
no. At the time of the Torah, nobody was writing. The writing system was not in place. But at the time of the Romans, you kidding me? Everybody was writing on stones, on papyrus, on everything.
And they're finding that stuff. They're finding
They don't.
they're finding those things that
Give me one
mention
example.
Jesus.
Give
Off
me
the
one
top of my
example.
head, you got to
So
look at the archaeological evidence.
I did. And there is not. There is only one guy.
Well, that could
I
be
tell
your
you.
that could be your
Go ahead.
bias. That could be your bias to say there's no, because obviously
But
people
it's
wrote
not for
about it.
free. I just checked. Just go check history. Double. I don't see that out of my imagination. I'm an investigator, so I investigate. I want to know who was the witness of Jesus' life. There is none. The only one that the Catholic Church said that there was, because this is a Catholic Church that says that there was a Roman called Flavius Josephus that did write about Jesus at that time. But if you go and check, what's on the internet all over the place, with credible people, if you check it out, you understand that there is no original writings of that guy, that Flavius Josephus. And the only thing that we have that that proves, and this is bullshit, like that proves that he existed, is a copy of the Vatican Church of these books that they made in 1100. That means 1,000 years later.
Yeah, I know that.
So you have to be
But you
stupid
have
to
to
believe that
understand where it came from,
this is not receivable,
right? It's because it came from the Greeks and the Romans. I think that's the issue. And part of the issue also is that Jesus' own people reject him.
The-
So it's kind of like you're fulfilling what Jesus said. Like you're a Jew, and I'm not being rude because I
no, I
I
know.
have Jew DNA,
Yeah, but you
but
take
it's like you're rejecting him.
but you take as a base of reasoning the fact that the New Testament is real and he existed. So we're not in the same. We cannot reason because I
Well, it
go
was manipulated.
before that. I say that he
It
never
was
existed.
manipulated. And I'm honest
That-
enough to
that's-
admit that
that-
it was
that's for sure.
manipulated. But that doesn't mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Why?
You know,
Why they
you
say?
gotta look
Yes,
at what is true.
that's what I do.
Not
So-
what they made up.
So this is why you have to come up with proofs, not with beliefs.
So there you go again. That means by your own logic, you can throw out the Torah.
No. So
Completely.
go ahead.
No, Sam.
Go-
Sam, based on your logic,
No. My
you could
logic
throw
is
it out. You throw everything out.
No, how can I cannot throw it out?
Why do you trust the Torah?
Why? Because the Torah not only was written like 4,000 years ago, but besides that, all the entire world, all the nations and all the civilizations in the world confirm that the first man was called Adam, which you don't know if it's not written in the
But
Torah.
I didn't mean that. I said the Torah.
That's what I mean. How do you know that the first guy was called Adam? How do you know that?
Because it's
Because
in the holy books that were passed
Because
down.
it's in the Torah, and all the civilizations in the world, the Arabs, the Chinese, everybody recognize that.
Okay, all right. All right. Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
I gotta go right now, okay? So
Okay.
we'll talk again another time, okay?
Yeah,
But
we have to
I
discuss
appreciate
about this, but we
I
have
appreciate talking with you, but yeah, I gotta get going right now.
Okay, go ahead. Do what you have to do.
Okay,
We have
do you
time.
have like a final thing you want to say, like a final message?
No, always a pleasure to talk, to discuss
too,
with
man.
you to this.
All right, hey, thank you very much for your time, Sam. And
Thank you.
all right, take it easy, man.
Bye.
Okay, let me click out. Okay, that's it, everybody. Thank you very much, but I'm gonna get going now, and hope you enjoyed the show. All right, bye.